Hey guys, welcome to the YouTube video. Today it's going to be an update video. Now I got some projects I want to do an update on. And first things first is on the Cap'em Ball pistol that I got in. I completely restored it, brought it back to original condition. I wasn't going to make it look brand new because this thing isn't a very expensive firearm. But I did clean it up. I flushed the seams on the trigger guard and stained the handle and polished the receiver and re-blued the hammer and clean the barrel and put a brass tube inside the stock right here, so that way it'll help hold the pin in place. Hold the ramrod in place. So that was a project well done. That's going to go straight into my collection. Next is on the knives my good buddy JR gave me. This is the first batch out of the ones that I've gotten done with. First is I finished one of the daggers. Just a classic design. I've always wanted a leather stacked handle dagger. I just never could afford one. And luckily JR gave me the opportunity just to make one. So the blade he gave me, but the handle I made completely from scratch. Darn bugs. And it turned out gorgeous. Again, that's beautiful. So this one I'm keeping for myself. And then I also sold this one. This is the Snap-on tool that I told you guys about. And my good buddy Blake bought this one from me. So that's why I'm doing this video, to show this off before it gets sold. And then this is one of the cheap knives I kept. The only one of the cheap ones I kept. And speaking of that, all the cheap knives that were in the video that y'all saw, all the Pakistani lockbacks, the cheap dollar knives, I actually bundled all those together and sold them all off because obviously I don't keep that kind of stuff. And luckily, a local friend of mine who runs a pawn shop not too far from me bought all of them, and so that's more cash that I could definitely use. And this is the only one I kept out of all those cheap knives. This will just be a cheap utility knife I keep on my workbench. Next is on this one I completely restored. This is that Charade Trapper, model 293, and this thing turned out gorgeous. Sucks I couldn't salvage much of the blades, but I made them look a lot better than they originally did. That one's going in my collection, because I don't have very many of these. And these Charade Trappers are kind of hard to find. Beautiful. Next is on this Japanese knife. This is another one I'm keeping, where it has a slip joint and a lockback blade. That one cleaned up really well. I completely repolished it and cleaned the inside. So that one I'm keeping. Next is this one, this near brand new Imperial Ireland. This one I hardly did anything to. I just simply repolished it and cleaned what little rust was on it. And since this one's in such good shape, I'm actually going to keep this one for myself. Beautiful knife. Next is the brother to it. This is in just an Imperial USA. This one's in slightly rougher shape, but I was able to make it look a lot nicer. And since I already have one of these, this one's going up for sale on eBay. I put this together with a lot of 3 that is on my eBay profile. Yeah, this is one of the ones in the lot. This is another Imperial. Yeah, an Imperial 2 blade. Beautiful. Again, both of these were completely stripped apart and brought back to the original condition and cleaned, so there's no rust on them. They're ready to go straight into a pocket. There's that one. Next is this Kellen Tools, Chicago, USA. If I said that right. Razor knife that I cleaned up. Don't have very many of these, so this one I'm keeping for myself. Didn't need much done to it. I cleaned up the blade and cleaned the inside, brought it all back to original condition. Not a bad little project. So that one's going straight to my collection. And next is this little baby Imperial. Again, since this one was in such good shape, I actually decided to keep this one for myself. Near brand new, hardly seen any use. So that one is going straight into my collection. This is another one I'll be selling. This is another Imperial Jack. Let me get all three of them. All three of these are going to be in one lot on eBay. So if you are interested in these, go on my eBay profile, and they are for sale. Each one has been fully restored, brought back to original condition. They'd be a great EDC for somebody, and they have good snap to them. Again, all three of these are listed together. So there's that. So anyway, here's the blades on this one. Again, all American made. Can't beat that. Next is the Cub Scout knife I got in. Again, I completely cleaned it up, brought it back to original condition. This one was kind of a challenge because I didn't want to strip this apart to risk ruining the handles. So I had to basically clean the insides and dodge the the brass locks, which is not easy. But I was finally able to do it, get it all nice and cleaned, and polished up the blades. And this one's on eBay as well. So if you're interested in purchasing this, it is on eBay, on my eBay profile. And I will put the link to my eBay profile in the description of this video if you are interested in anything. Next is this, Eagle Scout Imperial. This one is already on eBay because I already have one of these in my collection. It's in better shape than this. So this one is on my eBay profile as well. Didn't really do much to it. I completely cleaned up the blade and cleaned the inside, brought it all back to original condition. And so this one's on my eBay account as well. And then this Remington pouch. Again, it's just a pouch. There's no knife. This one's on eBay as well because I don't need it and I don't have a knife for it. So this one's on eBay as well. And then last but not least is these leather knife sheaths that my good buddy JR gave to me. All of these I am going to keep and clean up and use for knives, because I can never have too many of these. Alright, that's all the updates I've got for today. When I clean up a few more, I'll do another video on updates on some of these. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and as always, stay sharp and keep collecting.